Namaste, welcome back to the session of basic thermodynamics. In the previous session, we have gone through few of the problems related to pure substances. So let us move on to few more problems. So let us try to understand how to solve the problems at various situations. So next problem to you is, let me read the problem so that it will be easy for us to solve the problem. Steam is generated at 9 bar. In the sense 9 bar is the pressure at which steam is getting generated. This is the pressure. So P is 9 bar from feed water at 20 degrees Celsius. Here we need to understand, in order to generate the steam we need a device which is nothing but a boiler or steam generator. To the boiler we need to supply the water. That water which we are supplying to the boiler to generate the steam is called as feed water. That feed water is at 20 degrees Celsius when it is supplied to the boiler. So initial temperature of the water is 20 degrees Celsius, that is a T given is 20 degrees Celsius. Find the heat supplied to produce. Heat supplied is question mark to us in order to produce 1 kg of dry saturated steam. So heat supplied is denoted by delta Q, which is a question mark. Mass of the steam that is required is M, which is equal to 1 kg, and condition at the end of the generation of the steam, the condition what I will be looking for is dry saturated steam. So the condition of the steam which is required is dry saturated steam. That means they have provided us the initial temperature of the water, which is nothing but 20 degrees Celsius, which is supplied to the feed, which is supplied to the boiler by which we are trying to generate the steam. So now we need to look for dry saturated steam. In order to produce 1 kg of dry saturated steam, what is the amount of heat absorbed? What is the amount of heat supplied? That is the question mark to us. So now we need to understand few of the things first. Very first thing is they have given us the pressure with which the steam has to be generated. Pressure is nothing but 9 bar. Now initially we need to understand what they are giving, I mean at what condition the given substance is, whether it is in the liquid state or it is already in the saturation state, that needs to be understood first. In this problem he has directly mentioned that feed water, in the sense the given substance itself is in liquid state and he is expecting that liquid form of water to be in the steam state. So now at 9 bar pressure I have looked on to saturation temperature. The saturation temperature was 175.36 degrees centigrade. I mean at 9 bar pressure the water can reach its saturation state at 175 degrees Celsius. What is the given temperature of the water? 20 degrees centigrade. That means the water not in its saturation state. We need to take the water to its saturation state. What is that saturation temperature? 175.36 degrees centigrade. What is the given water temperature? 20 degrees Celsius. That means at 9 bar pressure, if I rise the temperature of the water from 20 degrees centigrade to 175.36 degrees centigrade, then water reaches its saturation state. So that is the amount of heat that needs to be supplied in order to take the water to its saturation state. Such a heat what we are substituting in order to take the substance from its existing state to the saturation state is called as sensible heat. That is what I have written on TS plot. If you look on the TS plot, I have written a dome. From any temperature to its saturation temperature is nothing but sensible heat. I hope this is very clear to you. So now initial stage is taking the water to its saturation state, in the sense at that particular state, I mean at that particular line the water will be saturated. What I mean to say is on this line, this is nothing but the saturated liquid line, we have discussed this. This is nothing but the saturated vapor line. On this line the water will be in its saturation state. If I move little bit away from this line, water starts getting converted into steam. On this line it is a completely vapor. It is a saturated vapor line. Now I am looking for 9 bar pressure line. At 9 bar, what is the overall amount of heat supplied to produce 1 kg of dry saturated steam? What do you mean by dry saturated steam now? Dry saturated. I don't want water particle to be present in the final form of steam. It has to be dry, completely dry steam, in the sense it has to come to this state. This is the dry saturated condition to me. I mean, on this point at 9 bar pressure, the steam is completely dry. Here it is 20 degree centigrade. Feed water supply is at 20 degree centigrade. And in order to take the water to its saturation state, I need to rise its temperature till it becomes 175.36 degree centigrade. So this is the 175.36 degree centigrade temperature. From 20 degree centigrade to this is nothing but sensible heat. Here within the dome, the temperature increment will not happen, but phase conversion happens. The amount of heat which is required to convert saturated liquid into saturated vapor is called as latent heat. So here it is 175, here also it is the same temperature, 175.36 degree centigrade, but heat consumption is called as latent heat. Now the final form that is required to me is this point, saturated steam. The question is, in order to take the water from this point to this point, what is the overall heat that needs to be absorbed by the water? That is the question. That means how many heats I need to calculate? First heat is a sensible heat, second heat is latent heat. So if I add these two heats, so I will get the overall amount of heat that needs to be supplied in order to convert the water into dry saturated steam. That is what is the basic funda behind the understanding of the question. So now it is very clear. Initially I need to go for sensible heat. I have written the sensible heat equation here. Since mass of this water is given me as a 1 kg, delta Q is equal to mCp delta T here. The formula is mCp delta T. Since m is equal to 1, I have eliminated the m. So now I will be remained with Cp dt, difference in temperature. Delta Q, which is nothing but what? Delta Q of that of sensible heat. This delta Q is nothing but sensible heat. Cp, we have discussed this in the earlier sessions itself. Cp is nothing but the specific heat. The definition of the specific heat is that it is the amount of heat supplied to the substance having 1 kg of mass to rise its temperature by 1 degree. Either it may be in Celsius or it may be in Kelvin. Such a heat is called as specific heat. So specific heat of the water, we are very aware, it is a constant 4.187 kilojoules per kg Kelvin. Next, dt, difference in temperature. Now I need to look for difference in temperature. Sensible heat difference in temperature. This is the highest temperature at which water will be saturated, and this is the lowest temperature at which substance is existing in the form of water. So this minus this. What is this temperature? T saturation. What is this temperature? T given. So difference in temperature is nothing but T saturation minus T given. Please substitute those two values into this equation. You will get the amount of heat required to take water from 20 degree centigrade to its saturated state, which is nothing but 650.5 kilojoules per kg. So this is what is sensible heat, which is responsible for taking the water to its saturation state. Now we are at this condition. We have calculated sensible heat. Now I need to calculate latent heat, which is responsible for phase conversion. So latent heat, make sure no pressure variation, no temperature variation is happening over there, but phase conversion is happening. Directly at 9 bar pressure, the value of H of G, enthalpy change for conversion of fluid to gas, H of G is nothing but latent heat. So H of G is 2029.5 kilojoules per kg in the sense for 1 kg. Per kg, this is the amount of heat responsible for the phase conversion. So this much amount of heat is nothing but LH latent heat. So now you have calculated SH at the initial stage. Now you have got the LH value directly from the data handbook. If I add these two things, I will be at this point, and that will be the answer for the given question. So that total heat delta QT, which is nothing but delta Q, which is responsible for taking the water from its initial state to the saturation state, which is nothing but sensible heat, plus delta Q, which is nothing but latent heat. If I add those two things, what are those two things? 650.5 plus 2029.5 kilojoules per kg, overall amount of heat which is required or which is absorbed or which needs to be supplied to the given substance to take it into dry saturated state is 2679.99 kilojoules per kg. Make sure here per kg in the sense for 1 kg of substance. So this is what is the question that they have asked, delta Q. So that is what we have calculated. So it is very simple. Initially we need to look for the condition of the given substance. Based on that we need to formulate the answer. So now I will look on to the another problem which is very similar to this, but we have certain different conditions over there. By keeping this analogy in mind, we can analyze this problem also, so that we will come to know what are the variations, if little bit of variation is there in the kind of the substance what they have to mention. So let us look on to the problem now, so that we will understand what is the given condition of the steam. Find the heat required. Here also heat required is the question mark. To produce 2 kgs of steam. Make sure here mass of the steam is 2 kg. Our data handbook has been generated for 1 kg of steam, per kg of steam. Here we need to be very careful, mass of the steam is 2 kgs. At a pressure of 7 bar, pressure at which the steam is getting generated is 7 bar, and a temperature of 200 degrees centigrade. Finally, the temperature should be 200 degrees centigrade, T final, from water at 25 degrees centigrade. What do you mean by this statement? At the 7 bar pressure, final temperature is 200 degrees centigrade from 25 degrees centigrade. In the sense, initially the substance is at 25 degrees centigrade. Upon the absorption of the heat at 7 bar pressure, its final temperature reaches to 200 degrees centigrade. That means given substances final temperature is 200 degrees centigrade, given substances initial temperature is 25 degrees centigrade. That is what I have written over here. T initial is 25 degrees centigrade. Take specific heat of the superheated steam as 2.1 kilojoules per kg Kelvin. Specific heat of superheated steam is 2.1 kilojoules per kg Kelvin. So this is what is the given problem to us. Now at the initial stage itself, we need to decide whether we are operating with water at the initial situation, or we are operating with saturated liquid, or we are operating with wet mixture, I mean wet steam, or we are operating with dry saturated steam, or we are operating in the range of superheated steam itself. That needs to be decided initially. Based on that, our formulation will be based on. So now I have written the given data. What I need to initially decide it is, I need to look for the condition of the substance, condition of the pure substance. At 7 bar, he has mentioned the pressure. At 7 bar, saturation temperature of the substance is 164.96 degrees centigrade. So this is the condition which is going to decide the condition of the steam. So at 7 bar pressure, if I am looking for the saturated substance, either it may be the saturated liquid or it may be the saturated vapor, dry saturated vapor, its temperature should be 164.96 degrees centigrade. So based on this, I will decide what kind of substance I am operating with. What is the final temperature in the given question? 200 degrees centigrade. Saturation temperature itself is 164. The given thing is more than the saturation temperature, in the sense Finally, I have to deal with superheated steam. What I am dealing with is, the given substance's final condition is superheated steam. The final condition is decided. What is the initial condition? That also needs to be decided. From water at 25 degrees centigrade. He has given two clues to us. From water, he has clearly mentioned it is not the saturated water. The question is saying that it is the ordinary water whose temperature is 25 degrees centigrade. What is the saturation temperature of the water? 164.96 degrees centigrade. Any temperature which is less than this saturation temperature is nothing but the ordinary water. It is a liquid. It has to be taken into its saturated state. What I mean to say is, if you look on to the Ts, this is the sensible heat. What is the initial temperature of the water? 25 degrees centigrade. Water is in this position now. What is the saturation temperature? This entire thing is saturation temperature, Ts, saturation temperature. What is that value? 164.96 degrees centigrade. What is the final temperature of the steam? 200 degrees centigrade. So now it is very clear. Initially we are here, finally we need to be here. How many heats I need to calculate now? Sensible heat, which takes the water. Please make sure this is liquid region, this is liquid plus vapor region, this is vapor region. So I am dealing with liquid region, 25 to 164.96 sensible heat, saturated liquid to saturated vapor, latent heat. From this dry saturated state to what is the temperature here? Make sure it is 164.96. From this dry saturated state to superheated state is nothing but the superheat. This superheat is also one kind of sensible heat. So this superheat needs to be calculated. 1, 2, 3. 3 different types of heat that we are going to substitute needs to be calculated in order to reach the final condition what they have mentioned. So now we need to look for all those 3 types of heat that needs to be supplied. Initially sensible heat, delta Q SH, which is equal to mCp del dt, difference in temperature. Here m plays a huge role. In the previous problem, what is the value of mass of the given substance, which is nothing but 1 kg. All the data handbook values will be available per kg of the substance. Now it is not for 1 kg, we have 2 kgs of the substance. So mass play a huge role now. So now m is 2, specific heat of the water is 4.187 kilojoules per kg Kelvin. dt, now you need to be very careful, you are in sensible heat region, difference in temperature is nothing but 164.96, this temperature minus 25 degrees centigrade. So upon operating this, we have got 1172.025 kilojoules. This is the amount of heat which is responsible to take the water at 25 degrees centigrade into its saturated state, which is nothing but 164.96 degrees centigrade. This is that sensible heat. Now we are here. Very first heat has been calculated. Next, latent heat. What do you mean by latent heat? Latent heat is nothing but the amount of heat supplied to the substance to convert saturated liquid into its saturated vapor condition. Complete conversion of saturated liquid into saturated vapor. Make sure it is dry saturated vapor. That has been directly extracted from the data handbook, which is nothing but HFG. At 7 bar pressure, HFG is 2064.9 kilojoules per kg. For 1 kg of steam, this is the latent heat. But how many kgs of steam we have? We have 2 kgs of steam. For 2 kg, you need to double this value. Multiply this by 2 so that you will get 4129.8 kilojoules. This is the latent heat for 2 kgs of steam. We are at this position now. We have completely converted dry saturated liquid into, saturated liquid into dry saturated vapor. From this dry saturated vapor, I need to move on to superheated vapor, because the condition of the final steam should be 200 degrees centigrade at 7 bar pressure. So at 7 bar pressure, I need to look for 200 degrees centigrade. This much amount of heat, what we are substituting, is called as superheat, because we are in vapor zone. Again superheat delta Q, which is nothing but SH. SH is also a kind of sensible heat. Because of that I am making use of the same formula that I have used while calculating the sensible heat. So superheat is nothing but delta Q, which is equal to mCp dt. Here dt is 200 degree centigrade minus 164.96 degree centigrade. 200 minus 164.96. Cp of the steam they have specifically mentioned. Look here, Cp of the superheated steam is 2.1 kilojoules per kg Kelvin. That needs to be substituted here, and mass of the steam is 2 kg. So delta Q, which is responsible to take dry saturated steam into its superheated state, dry saturated steam into its superheated state, which is nothing but the superheat. The value of that is 147.168 kilojoules per kg Kelvin. I will consider this as equation number 3, the value number 3. I will consider this as equation number 2. So now we have all the 3 forms of heat with us. 1 sensible heat, 2 latent heat, 3 superheat. So now from here to here, if I need what is the total amount of heat that needs to be supplied, I need to add all these 3 heats: sensible heat, latent heat as well as superheat. Upon addition, delta Q of SH, delta Q of that of LH, delta Q of that of superheat, we have got 5450 kilojoules. So delta Q total is nothing but 5450 kilojoules. So this is the total amount of heat, that is what I have got here. This is the total amount of heat that is required to convert 2 kgs of water, which is at 25 degree centigrade, into 200 degree centigrade. This much amount of heat needs to be substituted. So from here to here, the overall heat that needs to be substituted is 5450 kilojoules. So that is what is the final answer to us. So now it is very clear. In these kind of problems, you need to understand, or you need to decide what is the form of the steam that you are dealing with. I mean, what is the kind of the substance you are dealing with specifically. If it is water, then sensible heat needs to be calculated first. If it is dry saturated steam, then along with this sensible heat, latent heat needs to be calculated. If the given condition or the final form of the steam is a superheated steam, then along with this latent heat, superheat is also has to be calculated. So that is what we have looked in these 2 problems, very important problems, and by keeping this in mind, we can look for future problems. Okay, let us move on to the next problem, which will be the last problem of pure substances. Let me read the problem to you, kind of different problem. 2 boilers, one with a superheater and other without superheater, are delivering equal quantities of steam. We have 2 boilers, one is attached with the superheater and another without the superheater, and they are delivering equal quantities of steam. In the sense, both the boilers are supplying equal quantities of steam. So number of boilers is equal to 2. First with superheater, second without superheater, and they are delivering equal quantities of steam. Let me say mass of the steam substituted by the first boiler is 1 kg. In the sense, mass of the steam supplied by the second boiler is also 1 kg. For simplicity, I have taken it as 1 kg. Equal quantities of steam to a common main. In the sense, these 2 boilers are attached to the common main, to the common stream. The pressure in the boilers and main is 20 bar. Please be careful on this data. Pressure in the boilers, it is a plural, boilers. Pressure of the boiler 1, pressure of the boiler 2, as well as in the mains, the pressure is 20 bar. In the sense, throughout the system, boiler 1, boiler 2 as well as main is operating with 20 bar pressure. Throughout the operating condition, the pressure is 20 bar. Wherever I will be dealing with the pressure is 20 bar. The temperature of the steam from the boiler with the superheater, in the sense it is the boiler number 1, is 350 degree centigrade. So T1 is 350 degree centigrade. Why suffix 1? Suffix 1 is related to first boiler. and temperature of the steam in the mains is 250 degrees centigrade. Main, in the sense it is a common stream where the temperature is 250 degrees centigrade. Determine the quality of the steam supplied by the other boiler. What do you mean by quality? It is nothing but the dryness fraction. What is the dryness fraction of the steam which is supplied by the other boiler? Make sure first boiler is already, look onto this, superheater is 350 degrees centigrade. In the sense, first boiler's kind of steam is superheated steam because it is attached with the superheater. Why superheater is attached? To produce the superheated steam. It is already fixed. First boiler is supplying the superheated steam. Second boiler's quality is required. What kind of steam the second boiler is supplying to the main? They have given specific heat of the steam as 2.25 kilojoules per kg Kelvin. So the problem is very clear to us. There are two boilers, one is with superheater, another one is without superheater. The purpose of the superheater is to produce the superheated steam. So because of that, the first boiler is supplying superheated steam. Second boiler's temperature is not mentioned, but we know the pressure with which the second boiler is operating. And we need to find what is the quality of the steam supplied by the second boiler to the mains. So this is a simple question. So I have created the scenario over here. I am representing that with the help of the diagram or sketch you can call. So this is the boiler 1. We are already aware that it is supplying the superheated steam whose temperature is 350 degrees centigrade. This is the boiler 2 and this is the common, which is nothing but main, and the entire system is operating with 20 bar pressure. Make sure this is the condition 1. I mean, wherever I use the suffix 1, I am talking with respect to boiler 1. Wherever I use condition 2, I am talking with respect to condition 2. Wherever I use 3, suffix 3, I will be talking with respect to mains, the common stream. So now, what is the quality of the steam supplied by this is the question mark to us, as simple as that. If it is 100% dry, then it is a dry saturated steam. If the quality comes more than 100%, then it is also a superheated steam. If the quality comes less than 100%, then it is a wet mixture, I mean wet steam. That has to be decided now. For that purpose, I hope the data is very clear to us now. For that purpose, I will be talking with respect to boiler 1 now. Boiler 1 at 20 bar pressure. At 20 bar pressure, the boiler 1 is operating. We know it is a superheated steam. Already it has been decided. H1 is equal to Hg1 plus Cp times of T superheated minus T saturated. From the previous problems, we knew this is the superheat formula. We are very clear, this is the superheat formula, and this is the enthalpy of the dry saturated steam. Enthalpy of dry saturated steam plus superheat will give us the enthalpy of superheated steam. So from the data handbook, I have extracted the value Hg1 and T saturation, which is nothing but the at 20 bar, this is the T saturation, and T superheated they have given 350 degrees centigrade, and Cp of the steam, superheated steam, has been given to us as 2.25. I have substituted all those things, and hence I have got the enthalpy of the steam from the first boiler, which is nothing but 3106.8 kilojoules per kg. This is the enthalpy of the steam from the boiler number 1. Now I have got enthalpy of the steam from the boiler number 1. Move on to boiler number 2. Boiler number 2's pressure is very aware to us. It is operating at 20 bar pressure, but we are not aware of temperature, and hence he is asking us the quality from the boiler number 2. There is a quality. He is indirectly saying that there is a quality. There is a dryness fraction. Please substitute, I mean please make use of the formula which gives us the dryness fraction. So H2 is equal to HF2 plus X2 times of H of G2. Here X2 is the dryness fraction. We are very aware when we have to use this formula. So H2 is at 20 bar pressure, HF2 is this. We are not aware of X2, that is to be found. H of G2 is this much. So in this equation, X2 is the unknown that needs to be found. That is the question. Move on to the mains. The main condition is condition number 3. Make sure 1 kg of steam is coming from M1 is equal to 1, M2 is equal to 1. If it is M3, 1 plus 1, here I am operating with 2 kgs of steam. You should be very aware of that. So mass is 2 kg. Now pressure we are very aware, entire system is operating with 20 bar, and T of the mains, temperature of the main he has mentioned 250 degrees centigrade. Make sure T main is nothing but T3 also, since I have given the condition number 3 to the mains, so it is also considered as T3. So here T3 is 250 degrees centigrade. At a 20 bar pressure, saturation temperature is 212. At 20 bar pressure, saturation temperature, this I have extracted from the data handbook. Saturation temperature itself is 212, but the steam is at 250 degrees centigrade. That means T saturation, what he has given is, what is there at 20 bar is less than T3. What he has mentioned T3, which is nothing but 250 degrees centigrade. T saturation is less than the mentioned temperature. Because of that, the condition of the steam is superheated steam. That means in the mains also I am dealing with superheated steam. Boiler number 1 supplying the superheated steam. Boiler number 2, as he is asking, it is not a dry steam, it is not a superheated steam, it has a quality, and in the main it's still operating as a superheated steam. So now I have to decide what kind of steam that boiler number 2 is producing. So I need to find the enthalpy of the steam which is present in the mains. So H3, condition number 3 is for mains. H3 is mass into enthalpy of the dry saturated steam plus superheat, Cp T superheated minus T saturation. So M 2 kgs, make sure Hg3 2797.2 plus Cp 2.25, T superheated, what is superheated temperature for the mains? It is 250 minus 2 T saturation. What is the T saturation? 212.37. If I operate that, I will get the enthalpy of the steam which is present in the mains. So enthalpy of the steam is 5763.6 kilojoules. So this is the enthalpy possessed by the steam which is present in the mains. That means the steam which is going through the mains. Now the question is, what is the quality of the steam? We know the energy balance. In the same fashion, enthalpy should also be balanced. So if I do the enthalpy balance, enthalpy of the boiler steam which is present in the boiler 1 plus enthalpy of the steam which is present in the boiler 2 should be equal to enthalpy of the steam which is in the mains. So H1 plus H2 is equal to H3. Please substitute the value of H1. You have calculated the value of H1. Please substitute the equation that you have got for H2. This is the equation that I have got for H2, which is equal to H3. What is this H3? Which is nothing but the enthalpy of the superheated steam which is present in the mains. If I balance this equation, I will get the value of X2 as 0.9256, which is nothing but 92.56%. In the sense, the steam which is supplied by the boiler 2 has the quality, has the dryness fraction of 92.56%. What is this 92.56%? It is saying that in that overall 1 kg of steam which is supplying, in that 92.56% is steam, dry steam. Along with that remaining thing 7.44 or 7.44 is wet. That is the wetness fraction, 7.44%. That means it is very clear now, this B1 is supplying superheated steam, this B2 is supplying wet steam. Still it becomes upon mixture of superheated steam and wet steam, still mains is possessing superheated steam. Boiler 1 is supplying the superheated steam, boiler 2 is supplying the wet steam. Still upon mixture of superheated steam and the wet steam, the boiler 3, the mains is possessing the superheated steam. So this is how these kind of problems needs to be solved. So this is what is for the today's session, and this is what is for the pure substances. With this, I will be ending up with pure substances. In the next session, I will be coming up with new module. Till then, namaste.